actual portal. So I say the day that my name got released is when, they started hitting me up and, we started talking and just really just conversating about my future.
Coming from Tennessee, obviously, you know the ascent they've had as a program. What about Maryland's program do you think excites you, to take that next step towards competing for championships the same way that Tennessee was that last season?
I feel like we're taking the right step in the right direction. Every day we're trying to get better, and that's really all that we can do. We're able to look ourselves in the mirror and ask ourselves, have we gotten better today? And we're able to answer that question truthfully and say, yes, we have. But at the end of the day, that's what's important. We're taking a step forward, like all the time, every day, and with everything that we're doing.
The defensive line group specifically this year in Maryland, it seems like there's going to be a lot of new faces, or at least people that maybe haven't played as big of a role this year, stepping into new roles. What do you see from the group, and then within that, what do you see your role being?
We hold each other accountable, so that'll play a really big part into us really honing in as a group and really focusing on what we need to focus on to become successful. And as I mentioned before, the unique thing about the University of Maryland is that in practice, if you're a guy who doesn't really play like that, you're still getting reps in like you're a starter. Because the thing is, if something happens to the point where you need to be put in the game, it won't be such a shock to you because you've gotten so many reps in practice. It'll just be like, secondhand nature. And so a lot of the guys who are making appearances, as starters now, they've been playing a lot of the snaps in last year's practice consistently. So, their faces might be new to the nation, but in all reality, they're really veterans because they've played so many snaps, like in practice, and just really have, they know what it feels like to go against, quality talent.
And I know you touched on the portal a little bit, but correct me if I'm wrong, you took an official visit to Maryland out of high school as well, correct?
Yes,
so
sir.
Did you feel like there was the added familiarity as well? Did just when Maryland did reached out, like do you feel like maybe that kind of piqued your interest a little bit more, or did that maybe help you entertain them a little bit more?
So it did, because coming out of high school, as I spoke before, I already took the official visit. I already knew the coaching staff, and it was like a familiar relationship. So once I hit the portal and they reached out to me, it was just like, well, I've already been up there. I've already seen the campus, I know that you guys are great people, There's nothing else left except to commit and let's make this thing happen,
True, I got you, man. And obviously, you talked about it, and obviously just with the defensive line going into this year, just with the new pieces, and obviously you being one of them with Tommy A, Tyzay Johnson, how do you feel like maybe you guys are kind of settling in and kind of bouncing off each other?
Yeah, we're all three of us are trying to make each other better. We're consistently holding each other accountable, and I feel like what's really unique about us is that we put each other first before we look at ourselves. And we lead by example, all three of us, and I feel like that's how we're going to get better. Us holding each other accountable, us helping each other out, because a great program is a player-led program. So if we lead each other and we focus on things that we all need to get better at, and we acknowledge that, I feel like the sky's the limit for us.
Sure.
What has your experience been like talking to Coach Williams and learning about this defensive system?
It's been pretty good. The first thing I did, and I committed and everything like that, and discussed me moving on to campus. Like after I did all of that, that's when I really started, getting on Zoom meetings and things like that with, Coach B. Will, and we started looking at installs and talking ball and things of that nature. So I think that's really good. He's a teacher, so he's really good at what he does.
And what are you hoping to bring to this team in 2020?
A lot of production, a lot of positive energy and leadership, and a lot of uplifting, energy. I hope to bring that to the program.
And what Loxley talked about, just kind of with some of the new pieces kind of being leaders and whatnot. And even in the summer, I actually had a mom of a recruit, and I think you ended up hosting, and they credited you, said you did a really good job just kind of putting a good image of the program. So it seems like you've kind of taken on that leadership role and kind of just come in and tried to just become a familiar face. So maybe how have you done that?
Like I say, I just be myself. You know what I'm saying? And I tell the truth. So a recruit wants to know about our program. I'm going to tell him what the standard is of our program, what's expected of us, and how we're going to do things. Because at the end of the day, there's only one way to do things the right way. And what we're going to focus on is doing things the right way so we can get better each day, so we can have, an even more likely chance of achieving our goals.
You've played in the SEC. How do you anticipate the Big Ten compared to that experience?
Well, everybody knows the SEC is unique. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows that. The SEC is the SEC. You know what I'm saying? But the Big Ten is also a great conference too to compete in. And as a matter of fact, I think it has even more value because, the Big Ten, you're going to get a good education and you're going to get a good shot at facing a lot of good competition in the nation. So.
Awesome.